Hello, my name is Susan Green. My business is Emmaus, and today is the 8th of January 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. I just want to check in today, have a little chat, because I am receiving a lot of dreams and I get a lot of messages through my dreams. And they seem to be ever present in understanding that greater collective influence and energy that's going on, that it's way beyond when, I guess, when one fully embraces that soul mission and that truth that they are. And this is the path I've been on for quite some time. And 2025 for me was a very awakening and learning period of my life as I worked in a lot of different ways to go deeper and to become more sovereign in alignment to that higher truth and the awareness that awakens with that. So these dreams that have been coming to me lately, are ever guiding in that understanding of coming into that sovereign space of really stepping through the gateway of where one has been into where one needs to be. This sense of very definitively being shown that as much as that chaos and the energy that perhaps derails us from that sovereign truth is still out there, that we don't have to choose it anymore, that you've got a choice, and within that free choice, you can do it different. It's time to recognize that the timelines are shifting. When I'm looking out now and I am seeing what is coming forth, it's everything is just, it's like a blank canvas that is waiting for the potentials of what you want to be written into there, which is why it's so important at this point to be looking at life in a way of how you want to be feeling, of how you want to be existing. And I'm not talking about the physical aspect of things, because I actually fully believe that when you become sovereign and you fully embrace that part of yourself in gratitude, that the co-creation with the universe will organically happen because everything else will realign. It's like pulling apart the puzzle of what you've always been so we can put it back together in the way it's meant to be, the way it flows, the way it feels right, the way it brings this energy and this knowing of just such peace within that alignment where it's okay to choose you and that sovereign space, and to recognize that you're helping others and that you are still doing what you do in the way that you want to do it, but it's done in a greater sovereign space where there's positive boundaries, where all those other people, situations, and energies are not feeding from your energy, but rather you are holding space and you're strong within that space so that everyone else can be uplifted within that energetic vibration of light without tapping in and feeding off it. There's a very big difference of the two, where you are carrying others versus you are being and sovereign, and that vibration of you just being in that strength of the white light organically helps others see things from a new perspective, helps them resonate in a new perspective. It helps them make different choices just by you being you in that space and leading by that example. I believe we're in this time where, especially 2025, where the very big energies were very confronting in a lot of different ways. And these big confronting energies were like a purification. It was like like the inner light of your soul was just like, it's like a sponge being wrung out. They're showing me this picture of a sponge, and it's like all this stuff that we promised to take on for our ancestors and the past agreements and karmic relationships and all this stuff. It was all just like culminating because the potentials, if you're choosing to fully let it go and to fully allow yourself to become in that sovereign light, that you step into that what I'm seeing now, this blank canvas of how do I want to feel? How do I want to co-create with the universe to really, you know, be surprised, to be wowed by what comes forth, to live in such beautiful gratitude, because that's truly how I feel, and that's truly anchored here in my knowing, in the inner being of who I am. I still see um, a lot of people awakening up at the moment, waking up to higher communications. And I feel that it is very important for this inner work to be done so that the sovereign light can be maintained. Because I also feel that a lot of this waking up, that those old karmic contracts, the energetic entanglements with galactic beings, and as with humans, I do believe there's this dark and there's this light. And so when there's these entanglements that are still with the not so pure divine, well, they're not divine, they're not so pure beings within that greater galactic realm, that they can then take advantage. So if you're not truly pure and working on that sovereign light within yourself and clearing those shadow aspects and saying no to those energetic contracts, that it's very easy to be taken advantage of. They're the old timelines, though. And when you recognize it and you call in the correct higher divine frequency, and then you ask for resolution. So it's really about asking for help, not shying away from it, but just exploring and asking for help to be that pure divine vessel, to be the pure divine channel of energy and of the information for the greater good, where that can be done through me, where you are the messenger, and everything in that space that you hold is such a pure and beautiful energy vibration that the conflict, the that which really distorts or is limiting or is, what's the word, taking advantage of the old timelines, can no longer access. We want to say no, just because you're connecting to something that is higher and that is remarkable, but it's still about clearing out the toxic relationships. So what's being reflected through here is also reflected in the day to day. So really take note of what energy is around you on a day to day, even if you are connected in, that if things still seem to be confusing and in conflict in situations and the relationships that are presenting, that this higher communication is likely also in that conflict, and therefore needing to call in the divine white light beings to call in that cleansing and purification on a soul level so that you can trajectory onto the correct timelines and build into that future, that light, that freedom within self that is so important, that sovereign energy, you being that pure divine sovereign energy. When we all really light up within that divine space, everything changes. Everything changes. And I see it like a wave rippling as more and more people are doing it. And I can see how as each of these souls are waking up and we're all holding this unique signature code, this, and it's like as we're walking or as we assertively go round to the stone circles, to the ancient sites, to even just sit down and touch the ground, that it's like these, I can see these codes of streams of codes are coming down into these crystalline grids to awaken parts of the frequency that have never been woken before. And each of us holds a different unique signature, which is activating in a different way. And so when and as we're all doing this and we're all coming together, everything is is gaining momentum. And that's reflecting in this greater continuity, far expanding out through dimensional and parallel and other aspects of our souls and influences within that quantum realm. It's incredible what that sacred geometric shape and structure of the universal functioning. It's all coming online. So the more we look forward, the more we keep going no to what is creating conflict, or, even if it just like that shadow of doubt when you're receiving information that, oh, is this making me doubt myself? Is this like it's starting to send through this looping energy in your mind? Then that's likely a clue that you don't need to doubt yourself. You just ask for that higher divine energy to create a resolution to whatever that is because you're being shown. So go back to the source point. You release, you ask for reconciliation. Keep asking. Treat your teams in spirit, those in white light, like your best friends, because they're the key. They're the key that really, really open up your heart, your mind, your soul, that help you rebuild and awaken the information pathways through your DNA, through the totality of your etheric being, so that it can all come back into this beautiful sovereign coherence, no matter where you are in time and space. It's really incredible. It's at that point that we find the readiness to move forward, the momentum, where it's okay to go, I've got this goal. So surprise me, universe, how are we going to get there? Or I've got this goal, but I know that you can see things I can't see. So surprise me. And this is where the magic starts to unfold. And you watch out there and you watch the synchronicities, the numbers, the synchronicities in like you're seeing different clues out there, or words that are repeated through people, or you're constantly brought back to a phrase or something just, you're seen in a movie, and that concept starts to awaken something within you, and these epiphanies start going on, and it's this interconnectedness with the awakened part of your soul weaving its way back in. And, when we talk about healing and awakening through that sovereign energy as we close down the old karmic energies, the old entanglements, the ancestors are there, the divine beings in spirit are there, everyone's supporting. It's just so incredible to see the animals, dinosaurs, I say dragons, there's so many, all these elementals, there's just so beautiful. We've got so many teams around us. You're not alone. You're not alone. Just ask for help. Every night you go on to bed, what is it you're thinking about at that point as you go on to bed? As you're falling off into sleep, put yourself in a beautiful little Merkaba and fill it with white light and set your intention as you're sleeping. Hey, teams, those that are really working toward my purity, toward my sovereignty, I'm asking for help with, and putting that out there. In the morning, waking up, going, thank you, thank you. If you've got dreams, write them down. Really feel into them, because your dreams are amazing. That's your subconscious talking to you. That's your subconscious. It's like the map. It's not just random images that are showing up that are nonsensical. Everything has a meaning. So what do you have to do to decode those dreams, to really understand them? Everything's a clue. And I'm being shown at this moment that we're in just this huge forward momentum. And you can choose to get on board, or you can choose not to. But that's your free will, the way you want to move forward. And the timelines are splitting for each of us. And I'm seeing those trajectories constantly. This choice is going to take us there. This choice is going to take us there. Where are we going to go today? Yeah, and we can close off that as well, because we don't want to own that anymore. Again, reconciling what no longer fits, leaving the baggage behind. It's kind of like rewriting your whole story, because what was doesn't fit anymore. everything that has been, those programs, those, constructed points of view, core beliefs, that's all, you know, it's like take off all those coats, shed those skins, because it's time for new perspectives. It's time for a higher cognitive alignment that allows you to see new potentials, new ideas, new thoughts, to connect with the souls and the people that truly vibrate and resonate, that lift you up, that encourage you to be the best you can be. We're all these divine vessels of light walking around. Every step, every heartbeat, sending that light out. It's just so easy, really, because we just have to be aware of our own light, and all of a sudden it expands out without having to do anything. And I can see even as we do that, like, and that heartbeat, boom, boom, of light that we are. And as we are aware of our own sovereign being and we breathe in that light, and then we recognize that heartbeat going out and how it moves through that matrix, and it's like a little pulse. And it goes out far, far wider than most of us believe. So as we're setting our boundaries and our cleansing our energy fields, it's just happening organically within that heartbeat as we recognize our own light. Breathe in the light, breathe out all the murkiness. Very wise lady taught me that. Very first day, almost, I think I saw her. She said, breathe in the light, breathe out everything else. That was 10 years ago. And I still do that. I breathe in the light, breathe out everything else. Constantly cleansing, this cyclic cleansing all day. And it's happened so often, it's actually unconscious these days. Breathe in the light, breathe out everything else. Don't have to hold on to it. Just allow yourself to be lighter, be freer. Hmm. I just want to remind you to keep calling in that ancestral support as well. I know we agreed to carry a lot for our ancestors because we're in a time of consolidation so that we can shift into the new earth frequencies. But as much as the physical vessels are holding that energy energetically, we can reconcile that. So when you're recognizing that that stuck energy is there, you can ask again, asking for the help, asking for reconciliation, asking for healing for that ancestor that it belongs to, so that can be healed all the way through the family line back to you. And this being done over and over for every little stuck energy, stuck thought, for every illness, your body is giving you the messages back. So when you've got a pain here, a pain there, a discomfort, when you can't accept a situation, these are all clues into something deeper, something else that's going on, some sort of trauma wound, psychic wound that's been passed in and is in your cellular expression. So as we call in the light through reconciliation of that for our ancestor flowing through to us, it helps the family line, it helps you. And then that extra light coming into the cells, into the organs, into the body systems in the way they actually just are within that 24-hour sleep-wake cycle, within the circadian rhythm, the brainwaves. Without that energy there, then it all updates into that new frequency. And that's where that new light coming in, that's your light, that's the remembrance, that's starting to come back into remembrance, because all of a sudden you can see new perspective, you can see a new thought, new idea, new concept, and with that clear energy, that niggle, that pain, that resistance, that discourse and conflict in where you've been trying to progress to also heals. And so everything's shifting, the matrix, you, the greater alignment through the family blueprint. It's just, just have to, I just want to tell you just to ask for help through those that are around you in spirit, through your ancestors, because they're always listening. They're all waiting. It's funny because a lot of them, they show me they're sitting around going, we're waiting for them to ask. We're waiting. Tapping their toes. We're waiting. They're all there. Anyway, enough from me. Have a beautiful day and many blessings. I encourage you to pop onto my website, check out some of the blogs, check out the services if you're looking for help and momentum moving forward. I have dowsing charts, I have oracle decks. Check out messenger animals, beautiful animals. Before this, the giraffe came up, which is all about reconnection, higher perspective, aligning into exactly what we just talked about, which was really beautiful. It's really creating healing through that higher wisdom and knowing. Anyway, many blessings. Bye for now.